Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new discussion video. Today we're going to be talking about why I think we definitely need private matches in Battlefront 2. Now, this is probably one of the most talked about topics in all of Battlefront 2. The community mentions it all the time. A lot of people in my streams mention it. Plus, I personally think it's a really great idea. So what we're going to do today is we're going to discuss my 5 reasons why I think we need private matches in Battlefront 2. So before I get into it, I would love for you guys to leave a big thumbs up on the video. Let's try and go for 300 likes and see if we can smash that out of the park, because it really does help out the channel. And if you are brand new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for all Battlefront 2 and Fallen Order videos in the future. Anyways, getting into it. So let's talk about private matches a little bit. The first thing and the first reason why I think we need private matches is for content creation. Now, listen, hear me out. May sound a little bit selfish. Yes, content creation means YouTube, and it is probably geared a little bit towards YouTubers a bit more than the standard player. Content creation like cinematics or certain gameplay aspects or different little things that you want to do is going to be a lot easier if you have private matches. Now, yes, you can do certain things in arcade with cinematic capturing and all that kind of stuff, but I think content creation is going to be much more available if you have private matches. For example, if you want to do things like, you know, a 1v1 duel and do certain lightsaber tricks or tips, sometimes you can't always tee it up in heroes versus villains when you're going against a random. So if you can have it in a controlled environment with somebody that you know, that way you can do it there and you can test out everything you want. You can talk to the person over party chat or over Discord or whatever you're talking through. That way you don't have to worry about trying to get these things to work with a random. So for example, Sammy Boy, a lot of you guys know him. He does his Mythbusters tests. Yes, he does them through arcade, and most of the time they do line up with the multiplayer, but it would be a lot easier if he could test those things in a private match in an online environment, because some things may behave differently in arcade than they do in online play. So this would give you the chance to load in with a couple of friends in a private match, and you could test all of these things there. So that's pretty much the main first reason that I want to talk about. Content creation in a vast amount of different ways would be much more possible with private matches. The second one is something that would be a lot of fun for you guys as subscribers to us YouTube channels and as fans of the game: subscriber squad ups and battles. Now, this is something I briefly touched on a second ago in terms of loading in with subscribers. So for example, if I was to load into a game with, you know, 3 of my subscribers, and then Sammy was to load into a game with 3 of his subscribers, if we were trying to do that in HVV currently, that would be almost impossible. For those of you that have tried to tee up duels before with friends, it is really hard to actually find the same lobby that you're going to play against them in. So if we had private matches, all 8 of us could just load into the same group, load a private match, and we could jump straight into HVV action. So if Sammy and I wanted to do a subscriber squad up, me and 3 of my subs versus him and 3 of his subs, a private match would make this so easy. We just all join and we jump into a round and we go for it. So again, this goes back to that content creation for YouTubers, but it's also really good for you guys because it would be so much cooler if we could have, you know, kind of a battle against other YouTuber squads. So that's point number 2. Point number 3, and this is something that would be really fun and has also been highly requested: 1v1 lightsaber duels. Now, at the moment, the only way that you can do this is try to load into the same Heroes vs Villains or Hero Showdown game with a couple of friends all in the same squad so that you fill up the lobby, and try to load in at the same time so you get the same lobby. Now, this is very difficult. It tends to take 4, 5, 6 times before you actually find the lobby, and you have to search on something with a ping that is so damn ridiculous that you probably won't be able to move. And I've experienced this, you know, with the duels that are going on at the moment with the Tournament of the Fates. The only way we can do it is to go into a server where the ping is like 200 to 250 plus, and we can barely move. The lag is ridiculous, and having a private match would make it that much easier because you could host it on a local server, especially if most of you are from Australia or from the same area, you know, in the US or wherever you are in the world. You could all just load a local server to you so that nobody's really lagging, you all have a decent experience in terms of gameplay, and you don't have to worry about all those other aspects. So 1v1 lightsaber duels would be a lot of fun, and this would be the way to do it. You get private matches, you can load 2 people in if you want just the 2 of you in, you could load a bunch of you in, and you could all just do it 1v1 in different timings and everyone else could watch. It's kind of that aspect to it that would be really fun, and it's a good atmosphere. When you do get into a game of HVV with 8 or 7 other people, that you know are squatted up and you can have a really good run at it, it makes it that much more fun because everyone can just spread out and let you and one other person go 1v1, and that way it's really good for the game and you're able to have tons of fun doing it. So point number 3 is 1v1 lightsaber duels. Point number 4 is going to be increased longevity to the game, meaning that it will survive after online support is turned off. Now, as hard as it is to think about and as disappointing as it will be, the online support at some point is going to get turned off for Battlefront 2. So that means no new development, no new content. We're basically stuck with whatever we have when they decide to shut it down. So what is the deal here? What happens once the player base moves on to something else? There's not much else going on. Everything is minimized. There's not many players floating around and you can't find an online lobby. Well, right now we have just arcade mode. Pretty soon we will have instant action and co-op, but in saying that, it would be really cool to be able to jump into a round of Heroes vs Villains or Galactic Assault, you know, a year from now, 2 years from now. If offline support is shut off at that point, we could basically still jump into Galactic Assault with sort of, for example, 19 of my subscribers. Sammy could get 19 of his subscribers, or, you know, I could get Star Bazaar on, or one of the other YouTube channels, get a bunch of their subs. We could all load in together into a big private match and have a massive game of Galactic Assault. Or if those guys aren't available, I could just get 40 of my own subs and we could jump up and make 2 teams and we could go against each other in a private match. So again, being able to play these online modes still after the development has been turned off and the online support has been stopped, this would increase the longevity and the survivability of Battlefront 2 in the future. You have a look at Battlefront 2015, that game is 4.5 years old and you can still go back, load into a private match with a bunch of people and have a lot of fun in Heroes vs Villains or Walker Assault or whatever game mode you want to jump into. It is still readily available through private matches. So I think Battlefront 2 needs to seriously consider them, and this is another reason why. So that's 4 reasons right there. The 5th one is competitive tournaments. And now, again, I bring back the Tournament of the Fates, which is something I'm participating in right now. It is a 1v1 lightsaber dueling tournament through Battlefront 2. However, we do it in controlled environments where 4 people are on one squad and 4 people are on the other squad. We all load the same server at the same time and we wait until we find the same lobby as the other team. And once we all get in together, everybody spreads out and we do a 1v1 duel. Now, this is basically whoever wins moves into the next round and so on and so forth until you have a champion. But this would be a million times easier if we had private matches. Literally, like I said before, the 8 of us could just load into a private match, everyone could spread out and we could just go 1v1. Or you could have a 1v1 with a 3rd person in the lobby and you could pretty much just go through it that way and they could just be there for visuals or recording or whatever else you wanted to do. So competitive tournaments would be so much easier if we had private matches. You could tee it up, you could have a bracket, you could have certain people facing off against each other and the winner would rise up to the next round and so on until you get a winner. So that's another cool option that would come with private matches. Anyways, that's pretty much everything. They are the 5 reasons why I think private matches should be added to Battlefront 2. I'm sure there is a bunch more and you guys can probably think of some as well. So if you can, drop them down in the comments below. I would love to see what ideas you guys could come up with if we had private matches in Battlefront 2. Anyways, I am going to jump out of here now. I appreciate all of you guys. Make sure you remember to smash a big thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Anyways, I will talk to you all later. Thank you again so much for tuning in and may the force be with you always.
The Sith are all powerful. You are no match for me.